Hello YouTube, it's Nine here with Hobbies the Man once again, and today we're going to be doing another manga review. Today we're going to be doing a review of Heart Gear. We're going to be looking at everything that is available for it so far, which is 29 chapters, and a 30th chapter, which is just like an image, and the mangaka saying, hey, I'm sorry, I'm going to be away from the work. And he has been away for like 2 years, I think, but about 3 months ago, he tweeted out that he was going to come back to the story soon. And he's been posting a little bit artwork, like a little bit of artwork and stuff on his Twitter lately. So I think he's going to come back soon, but I don't exactly know when that is. So yeah, Heart Gear, I did a first impressions review on it a few days ago. And honestly, I feel like it didn't really manage to capture how amazing Heart Gear is. And so I'm going to try to capture that here today. So the author is Tsuyoshi Takaki, who is the creator of Black Torch. He also created Heart Gear, of course, and I don't know if he did anything else, but I'm pretty sure he has. And his art style is very, very distinct and very, very cool. The publisher is Shueisha, and this is published directly on the Manga Plus app, so it's very unlikely it's going to get an English physical release, but it is possible at some point. However, there is a Spanish release from I can't remember if it's Norma or Milky Way, but one of them has published it in Spanish if you want to buy physical copies of it. I do recommend them. Spanish editions tend to be very, very good, even if the sizing is different from what we're used to here in the US. The demographic is shonen, and the genres here are sci-fi and adventure. This is first and foremost a robot series in the kind of style of like Isaac Asimov. It's about these robots that are trying to understand what it means to be alive. And we're doing this through the lens of these creatures that don't understand if they are or not, right, with these very advanced AIs. And it's one of those, like, through this robot, we'll understand humanity kind of things, and it's very, very good. It does not have an adaptation, and the premise is basically that this is a world 200 years after World War III has ended, and humans have basically killed each other off. Humans are basically extinct, except that there is one little human girl whose name is Rose. She's about 12 years old, and she's the only human in this robot world. At least that's what we think so far. And she lives with this researcher robot called Zet, and he's actually a gear, which is basically just what this world calls robots. And Set is basically like her dad / grandpa. I can't remember what Oji-san means exactly, but he is like a parental figure for Ro. And one day when they're exploring, they find Chrome, this other robot, who happens to look like a giant trash can. However, one day, a few months after they've met Chrome, and Chrome has been trying to deal with the idea that he has to learn what his directive is, like what his main reason for existence is. They're attacked, their little homestead is attacked by a rogue gear, a gear that has gone crazy, an AI that has stopped functioning correctly, right? And what happens is that it attacks Zet, and his body is destroyed, but his memory core is still intact. So he's technically still alive, even if he lacks function of any kind. And throughout this attack, Chrome figures out that his directive is to protect Ro. And so he awakens, basically. And now they're on a journey to find someone or something, a gear or a person or something, like anything, basically, that can save Set, that can create him a new body so that Ro can see him again one more time, right? So it's very, very good. I really, really, really enjoyed it. Like it's a premise that maybe feels like there's not much going on, right? It's just a journey to find someone to construct a body for this Baymax-looking character, Zet. However, it's so much more than that, because as they're traveling, they find and they interact with other gears, and each of them has something to them that teaches Chrome and Ro more about humanity, more about gears, and it just also teaches us a little bit of something. And it's really, really fun and really, really interesting and great, and the art style is wonderful. So just the whole package here in this manga. So yeah, the plotline is simple looking, but it is a rather complex thing, right? You know, Ro lives with this gear. They find another one, and then this insane gear attacks, like I said. And then they have to go through this journey, and they basically, it's like a travel log, right? It has little slice of life moments, but there's also a lot of action, through this journey, right? They go from Set's homestead to this like rundown city to find some friends of Set's, and there they have a confrontation with one of these friends of Set, whose name was Marie, I think. She was a service gear, a maid, basically. And she stands up for Ro, and she kind of talks to Chrome, and eventually she like allows Chrome to take Ro with him. And then they travel on, and they meet this other character who's an engineer, and then they learn that they have to go somewhere. They have to go find this thing called Heavenland, and then they set off. Again, eventually they meet a farmer robot who then gives them a good kind of direction to go through. And then they eventually get to this place called Valhalla, which is a place where robots gather in order to battle. And then that's where the vast majority of the story takes place, in terms of like the major plot points for the rest of the story so far. And it's a really, really good arc. It's really, really enjoyable. Everything about the story is so, so good. And each little interaction that they have with a gear before they continue on their journey is just so meaningful and so great and so fun and so action-packed. And it's really, really wonderful. I really, really enjoy it. So, yeah, they end up doing that, and the story kind of ends abruptly because it's been on hiatus, but it is shaping up to be a very great story, because along all of this stuff that Ro is having to do, we get to see that there's these hidden agenda that a lot of extra gears that are following our characters kind of have, and we have to see why that is and what's happening, and it's just really, really cool. It's a lot of fun. So yeah, in terms of characters, we have Ro, who's a cute little gentle 12-year-old girl. Like I said, she's a little ray of sunshine. She's just so wonderful. She's such a great character. She has, you know, a lot of innocence and naivety, and she really loves her robot dad, Zet, and she really cares about Chrome as well, and she really just has a lot of good emotions for everyone and everything, and she is such a wonderful little character. I love her so, so much. She is very much in line with like Grogu and Anya and these kind of like kid characters that you really, really like for whatever reason. She's one of those, and I really, really enjoy seeing her interact with all the robots and just go on this journey. And it's just, she's so adorable. I really like her as a character. Then we have Zet and Chrome, who are a researcher and a combat gears, respectively. And they're basically Ro's dad / big brother, also respectively. Zet is her dad and Chrome is her big bro, basically. Then we have a bunch of secondary gear characters. We have Raze, who is a character that is following them, but is definitely not aligned with them. She seems to be some sort of evil character. Then we have Hildur, who is a character that they meet in Valhalla, who is a badass. She's great. Then we have Kid, who is the engineer that they meet along their journey, who is a wonderful little character. He reminds me of Obito and Naruto and when they're young, and it's great. I really like that a lot. Then we have Odin, who is the main antagonist for most of the first part of the story here, and he's awesome. He's badass as fuck, and he's so, so cool. His backstory is also really, really interesting, so I like them a lot. Then we have Mary, who is the service gear that they meet at the beginning that kind of has a fight with Chrome before she lets him take Ro with him. And I love her as well. She's great. Her character design is awesome as well. I really like the maid outfit with her like badass like fighter legs. I don't know. It's very, very cool. Then we have Henrik, who I think is the this character that was a human who transferred his consciousness onto a robotic being. And it's very, very interesting as well. He also provides a lot of interesting talk about what it means to be alive. And then we have Rock, who is this little like basically he's like the R2-D2 equivalent of this story. He's a little dome head little character. He looks like a little mushroom, and he's a pretty interesting character as well. And with him, we get to see a robot that kind of is learning to become more, right? And it's very, very cool. I liked it a lot. And there's so many more other cool characters that you get to learn about throughout the story, and it's really wonderful. In terms of world building, I think it's great. This World War III setting, or post-World War III setting, allows for a lot of things. It allows for great advanced technology, but it also allows for the reduction of humanity. It also allows for this post-apocalyptic kind of situation here. And, you know, it's all that's left is these robots called gears. And all of these gears have one prime directive, you know, that is their main reason for being alive, right? However, they still have the ability to think about it and go around the directive in a certain way. So they still have free will to an extent. However, they are also beholden to that rule, right? And so it's a very interesting way in which they manage to do that. And every character does it differently, and it's so cool, so interesting. And we get to see a lot about this kind of like power of friendship idea, but it's not really the power of friendship. It's more like the resolve of a human passing on to his robot when he dies. And it's really interesting. I really liked it a lot. There's a lot of mystery, and there's a lot of groups we don't understand. There's these people at Heavenland, and there's 2 different groups, and there's a lot of characters that are there, and it's very interesting. The world building is great. It's not very massive yet, but it is something that is going to be part of the plot line, because the unraveling of the mystery, the unraveling of the world is part of the story. So I like that a lot. In terms of art, it is godly, it is amazing, it is beautiful, it is so cool. It has this great mixture of like grungy and sketchy, but also very sharp and defined, and it has this really cool aesthetic to it. It's very interesting. It's not as grungy as like Die Dark or anything like that, but it has a lot of hatching and a lot of cross hatching and a lot of just like squiggles and like scratchiness around it, which lends to this very like Star Wars, like lived in universe kind of feel to it, which I like a lot. It's very cool, very wonderful. Of course, the character designs for everyone are great. Ro is a wonderful young character. She has a very cool little outfit. Chrome is a badass looking robot. Hilder is a badass looking robot. Reyes is a super hot looking robot. Mary is great. You know, all of the characters just have awesome designs. Odin is badass as heck. Even Rock with his little mushroom head is awesome. I really like everything and everyone and how all of the robots are designed. There's some ones that look like animals. There's some ones that look like tanks. There's some ones that look like nothing at all that we don't understand. It's very cool. The art style is wonderful. And of course, with this great art style, there's also a lot of great fan service, a lot of female characters that look really hot, a lot of male characters that look really interesting and very buff and very cool. And there's like so many awesome robot designs and character designs and so many like very attractive and very like ridiculous like fan service moments that don't actually detract from the story, because most of them happen as part of the story. Like, what I'm saying is that there's no really ridiculous like, let me stop this fight in order to do some like tentacle stuff with Lucy. Sorry, not with Luffy. Luffy's from One Piece. I'm talking about Hiromashima's fairy tale, right? There's nothing like that. It's all part of the story. Like, the fan service just happens to be like a pose or a way that the characters design and stuff like that. So it doesn't really detract from anything. There's one scene that is pretty funny, which is when Hilder and Chrome are fighting, and Chrome punches her in the chest, and he like hits her boob, and then she like reasons it out afterwards. She's like, damn, he could have killed me, but good thing he hit my shock absorbing material or something like that. And I was like, bro, why? Like, Takagi was just being horny, and he just wanted to really draw him punching a boob. So I don't know, I thought it was funny, but it is good. That's really the only ridiculous fan service scene that pops up to me. Everything else is pretty much just window dressing to the very cool story. So I think that's really cool. In terms of ratings, a 5 out of 5. This is great. This is amazing. This is probably one of the best manga that I've read this year. So it's definitely going to probably show up on my top manga of 2022, and I love it. It's really great. So yeah, I definitely recommend it, of course. And in terms of similar titles, Black Torch and Alma. I haven't read Alma yet, but I do know that it is kind of similar. And Adam, the Beginning. This is a what's it called? Astro Boy retelling, reimagining prequel story, which is really good as well. And yeah, there's a few other things that I could think of, but I can't remember them right now. So yeah, those are the 3 that I think are pretty similar. Black Torch, because it's by the same creator, so the art style is going to be very similar. Adam has a very similar vibe. There's definitely a robot fighting like arc in Adam, that's very similar to the one that is here in Heartgear. And Alma has the same kind of basic setting. There's a human who's friends with a robot, and they're traveling to find other humans / other people in order to do something, right? So There you go. That's all there is to that. I hope you guys enjoyed the video. If you did, please leave a like, subscribe, and comment down below. Let me know what you thought. And thank you guys very much for watching. I really do appreciate it. See you guys later.